Hi, my name's Joe. Welcome to my channel where I help you make better coffee and give you honest reviews. Today I'm with my dad, Joe, as well.
Hello everyone.
He's an electrical engineer and he's going to help me install a PID on the Gaggia Classic Pro and help you learn how to do it. But before we get into that video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. It means a lot, it means the world to me. All right, let's do it. Step one, take the screws out. Very good. Pulling this off. All right. Step two, take the ground wires out. Give them a little tug. Dang. All right.
That one was a little tight.
Okay, to start unscrewing the bolts here with the 4mm Allen wrench. Lefty loosey. Very good. All right, after all 4 screws are removed, go ahead and take your steam knob here and just pull on it. It'll come right out. It's pretty easy. All right, go ahead and take your retaining pin out from the steam wand. Right there. After removing the retaining pin, go ahead and just pull gently out and this will pull your steam wand out. All right, once all the pieces have been removed, go ahead and take your steam boiler and pull it up and out to the left a little bit. You can take a look at how we do this.
Gently.
Yeah, don't want to have any wires or anything like that get too crimped, and just pull it up.
So that you can access this piece here. Next we're going to remove the thermostat, but first you need to remove the 2 wires that are connected to it. And sometimes it's tight, so getting it off by hand might be rough, so just get it started. A little flathead screwdriver and just loosen it a little. Loosen it a little on this side, and then it should be able to come off by hand the rest of the way. Next, you'll want to get a pair of either a wrench or a pair of vice grips, and just get this to loosen up a little, and then you can twist it off by hand. Be careful. And easy as that.
Apply a small amount of thermal grease around the threads of the RTD sensor, basically your temperature sensor. All right, next take the boiler, lift it up a little bit, and then we're going to install the RTD sensor into the section where the thermostat was. Make sure you do this by hand so that it does not cross thread. Should go in very easily. All right, after it's been tightened with your hand, just give it about a quarter turn, just enough to get it nicely seated. Do not over tighten.
Next, you're going to want to connect your wires up to the solid state relay. And if you see the red dot there, that will give you orientation. once everything is hooked up to your solid state relay, this is how it should look. We're going to apply some heatsink grease to the bottom of the solid state relay prior to mounting it. That's our next step. And that will help transfer heat from the solid state relay to the Gaggia to keep the heat down and make the solid state relay last longer. Okay, so after the heatsink grease is applied, we're going to remove the cover that was on the solid state relay because it fits better. And it seems that the 5th slot over from the left is going to be the best spot to mount it, just because of all the other things that are in the way down there. So we're going to go ahead and put that in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that nut on, make sure the washer is on the outside. And if you look back on the inside, it's gonna be tilted a little bit, and so that the screw doesn't come down when you put the top heater plate on and mess up the solid state relay.
Okay, so remember those wires we took off of the thermostat? You're going to go ahead and take the 2 red wires from the output side of the solid state relay and push them in, connect them. Doesn't matter which side or which section you do it.
So the next thing we want to do is tap into the power switch. However, we want to make sure that the wires that come from the power switch that go directly to the power cord outlet are on the center part of the switch, not the top. In our case, you'll see that there's a white wire on the top and a black wire on the top. And I've already taken the a meter and tested to see that they are in fact both connected to the power outlet. If you don't have a meter, you can physically see those wires and trace them and see where they go. Again, if these wires are connected from the top part of the switch to the power outlet, we have to switch them out to the bottom, and then the wires that are on the bottom, we just switch them right to the top.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take both those wires out. Sometimes they're difficult, so we've kind of pre-pushed them out. You could use a flat head to pull them out, but yeah. So pull those out, and then we're going to tap into it.
Okay, so now that we have the white wire that was on the top down on the bottom, we want to insert the black wire with the little jumper there, and we're going to bend this down just a little bit, just because of the angle that would be needed to connect to that. So we're going to push that in. We're going to take this, might have to bend it just a little bit more, and
there you go.
There we
Clipped
go.
in.
Got that clipped in. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to switch the black wire to the bottom and bring the brown wire up to the top. Okay, so I've done the same thing on this side. I moved the black wire that was on the top down to the center, and we're going to do the same thing here with the brown wire. We're going to bend that, and we're going to clip that in. Make sure it's all the way seated, and we're going to take the brown wire and clip it to the top. Next, you're going to take the wire that has a green and yellow stripe on it, which is going to be a ground wire, and we're going to take this again, we're going to bend it up a little, and we're going to connect right into the same terminal post that this green wire is connected to, but on the opposite end, right here. Okay.
Next, you're going to go ahead and grab the controller, and we are going to unscrew the back. Next, we're going to grab all the 7 wires that we've connected, and we're going to grab them and push them through the closest to here, which is the center, and push them through. All right. Once you're done with the back panel, also unscrew the front panel.
So once you have the PID disassembled and the back panel off, we're going to want to feed those wires, all except for the ground wire here. We're going to want to feed them through that back panel. Make sure it's oriented properly with the bezel side of the mounting holes out, because that is the outside of the case. So just start feeding those through until all 7 wires are fed through there.
6.
6 wires. Next, we're going to want to feed the wires through the housing and screw on the back panel. Hey, so next, stop. Okay, after your power is connected to terminals 1 and 2 and your screws are secured, you're going to want to put the white little jumper wire in terminals 6 and 7. Okay, next we're going to hook up wires from the solid state relay to terminals 9 and 10, making sure that the red wire goes to the terminal that's marked positive, which is 10. Next, we're going to take the translucent wires that came from the temperature sensor to terminals 7 and 8. And the white wire is going to, one side of that white jumper wire is going to be in the same terminal as one side of the temperature sensor, just like that. Okay, after all your wires are connected, as we had indicated, we're going to go ahead and put the controller back inside the housing with the wires just tucked away nicely. And we're going to put those screws back into the faceplate. Next, on the back plate, we're going to install that ground wire to one of the mounting holes. Next, we're going to nicely wrap the cables that are on the outside of the case with a nice cable wrap here. And just take that, just keep on going around.
All right, so at this point you could decide however you want to mount this. I'm going to mount it this way so it's flush and a little bit easier to transport and stuff like that. But if you're so inclined to, you could do it like this as well, or this. But I'm going to go this way. That way I can hit the buttons and see the temperature, and it's pretty flush to the machine. So just, okay, so take your double-sided tape, place it on there. And there's another piece too we'll put right here. And then we're gonna just mount it on. Okay, now we're gonna start putting everything back together. This is the steam wand. We're gonna put it in and then have this hold it on. Okay, you're gonna take your 4 screws here and you're gonna screw down the boiler.
So last and final step is to reconnect the ground wires to the heating plate and reinstall the heating plate. There we go. The original screws that you took out.